Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blood, Fate, and Fortune, a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, and seduction, all set in the world of 7th. My name is Dan McCurdy. You can find me at RevDMC247 on TikTok, Blue Sky, YouTube, and if you find me anywhere else, be careful. My vision is based on backstory. I will allow my players to introduce themselves, starting with Umberto.
Ooh, I'm never first. Hi, everybody. I am McCurdy Artificer, everywhere you can find me on socials, and I am returning once again as the illustrious, the beautiful, the very humble Umberto Vitale, the Dacian man of mystery.
Hello. I am Took, I guess. You can find me on the Tiki-Takis and the Twitchies and everywhere else if you would like. And I am playing the Muscle Mommy Knight of Avalon, Roan Ibex.
Hello, I am Jeremiah McCoy, and I am also known as Basics of the Game in various places, including here. And I am playing Mykolas Kelvan, the Sarmatian Losejas and Problem.
It's very true. But hi, everyone. My name is Gizmos Aplenty. You can call me Natalie. You can find me anywhere on social medias, mostly at Gizmos Aplenty. And tonight I am playing Leonora Orsini, the Sorte Strega.
All right. In our previous episode, for reasons that we probably don't need to go into here, Leonora Orsini had ended up a little bit kidnapped by a portier, a blood witch, who used his powers to teleport her into a strange, distant tower. However, since this particular blood witch was one that was being hunted by Umberto due to opening the blesher, the strange creature from the in-between had marked Umberto, giving him a way to track this portier. And having traveled through the wilderness and the forest of the Proclit Forest in the Sarmatian Commonwealth, they found that tower. While she was in prison, Lenora ran into the ghost of Karne Prestovich, a previous practitioner of Sanderis, the Losejas, who had also been in service to Rona, the Crow of War, and apparently had lost his way and failed. The party arrived, did some work to get into the castle, and managed to find that blood sorcerer, his name Adrian Moreau. And while they were fighting his men and working their way up through the building, Lenora managed to escape after a disturbing conversation with the ghost Karne and ran into another practitioner of the blood arts who seemed content to allow his mentor/cousin to suffer the pain of his own hubris against the rest of the team and merely seemed to watch Lenora as she moved around the castle, interested in why some parties were so interested in her. Mykolas found them, and after discovering why it's typically not a good idea to go directly one-on-one against a duelist, ultimately managed to, with the help of others, drive him to the edge, and with the promise that he would be interested in seeing them all again, the younger Blood Witch ported away. Now, a little bit of time has passed. Deciding that there wasn't much reason to go back to the town of Novina where they had previously been staying, the group has started moving towards Brudogrim, the capital city of the Sarmatian Commonwealth, from there to find some method of transport. They are going a very long way away to Avalon in order to carry the body of Sir Bryant, the mentor of Roan Ibex, who had fought with them, died of old age, and now they were transporting his body. Luckily, it is frozen through the power of Mykolas Kelvan so that he will not rot during the trip. Unfortunately, he is frozen and a very large man who is difficult to move when there is no bend, and so that has made their different travel options a little bit difficult. The sun rises in the morning. The group is camped on the edge of the forest as they are on their way towards Brudogrim. Who do we think might have had the third watch the night before?
Roan could have took it.
All right.
A bit of rest.
Rowan, you're up watching just keeping an eye out. This is a very forests like the Proclip Forest are the reason why there are stories about haunted forests. It is thick and it is bushy and it has lots of shadows that can be managed in, lots of monstrous sounds around from different places. But in general, it was a fairly easy night. You were there thinking, and who would we think would probably be the first to wake up in the morning? Who is the early riser of the group?
Probably Mykolas. He's a soldier and keeps a soldier's schedule.
All right. Mykolas, you awake. And as you awake, you feel a strange absence. You're used to having the powers of Rona, as uncomfortable as they may make you. You're used to having them at your fingertips. Just a quick bargain already made to summon your power, but you can feel their absence now. Rona is present, but in a different way, a pending way. You have a deal that you need to complete. You called upon a massive amount of power when you destroyed the tower. And made a deal that will lead to the next word of your deal. The deal that convinced Rona that it was you and not Carne that she wanted to be bound to in this time. How does it feel when you wake up with that distance with her in the absence of the powers you've had for a few years now?
Does he hear the drums?
They're muted. They're there, but they're muted.
Then there's probably at least a little bit of a sense of relief with a little bit of dread as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's not completely sure what it will all mean when everything is said and done, but even a little bit of respite, he's happy about that.
All right. As you wake up and kind of stretch out, having found some little comfortable place near the fire that Rowan has been watching. You see Rowan. How does Rowan do guard duty? Is she just sitting and looking into the fire? Is she a patroller? How is Rowan on guard duty?
She is 100% a patroller. She does not like sitting still for too long when she does it. And it has broke morning, and she assumed that most people are going to wake up at some point. So she has started working out. So you will see her jogging kind of in a direction where she can still see and patrol everything.
I think Mykolas will probably take that as a cue and is doing calisthenics as well. Like finding a tree branch to do pull-ups or something like that.
All right. Who do you think would wake up next?
Umberto.
Okay. How does Umberto wake up from a sleep when he's sleeping rough?
He will kind of just growl and kind of stretch himself and look around. He will immediately snap to look for Leonora to see if she's still there.
Mm-hmm. You snap, and there she is. And I believe, as we established, the snore that has filled the entire camp for a while, a little bit of drool coming from the mouth where she is. She's still there, still asleep.
And he'll relax, and he'll get up and kind of just stretch himself and then just see where the others are.
You can see Rowan and Mykolas both kind of exercising in the morning.
No, it's too early for that.
And Leonora, you kind of you've probably been sort of in and out of it for a while now. Like, yesterday was a lot, and it's totally normal to want some rest. But you can kind of feel that the camp around you has started moving. And then all of a sudden, you have the feel of a nose poking you in the face, a very large nose, as the horse Persepolis has wandered over to where you're sleeping. And like a dog early in the morning, it's just nuzzling into your nose, being like, time to get up, time for food, time to...
Okay, Persepolis, please. And she's going to just like begrudgingly like rub her eyes and just see this dopey horse who's like thinks that he's in charge now. He knows he's in charge now. And just be like, do you really have to wake me up so rough? All right. And she's just rolling up her bedroll. She's trying to clean up her area. She's kind of been woken up in a more a lighter way than she hypothetically could have woken up. So she's actually pretty okay to start the day. And she's going to go to her little cornucopia and try to find an apple.
Mm-hmm. And sure enough, as you go over, you look into the cornucopia, and like it knows what time it is, there are apples present. And some of the other horses are starting to come over too. Like,
all right, everyone follow me, and I'm going to lead them over to a grassy range where they can run through, and I'm going to like give them each an apple and let them have their exercise.
As they start exercising, what is your notice?
2.
With the 2, you also notice what Rowan noticed previously. Persepolis, when you all first met him, looked like an ancient horse. Looked as old as his master. But now still clearly has age. Is a bit long in tooth and a hoof, but not nearly as bad as when you all met him. The skin fits a little snugger around his frame. The muscles are clearly well developed. Whereas before he was a retired war horse, now he looks like simply an old war horse. And he has definitely more energy in the way he kind of manages the other horses and make sure they get what they need and feed and water and stuff like that. It just strikes you. He is definitely different.
She's going to just like instinctively read, even though this is a horse, and she doesn't really get animal readings per se, but she's just going to see like if she can sense an aura or sense like some sort of binds that might be in the weave.
Yeah, animals do not have the same kind of fate as humans do, but there are weaves. You can see, like, there's always a string to an owner or something like that, or someone that, like a pet, or someone where there's an important relationship. And you can see threads from the horses to their various riders. And Persepolis personally has strings to Rowan and to you. As this is forming, but also as you're looking, you see the other horses' weaves looking very much like horse weaves. Persepolis's are different. They kind of have this golden glow around them as he steps around that you've never seen on a horse before.
Curious. She's going to just take note of that and try to see where everyone else is.
Mm-hmm. You can see Rowan and Mykolas doing their morning workouts. You can see Umberto not doing morning workouts.
Rowan at this point is starting to race one of the horses. She got really competitive, so you see her full sprinting. Just
is it Persepolis she's running against?
If he'll have her, yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, Persepolis is playing with Rowan, like running with her, and it's like she's doing good, she's doing good, and all of a sudden, like the neck sweeps over and like bats her off her course or stuff like that.
And she's like, "You cheater! You stupid cheater! Oh, come on!"
Don't let them beat you like that, Rowan.
And then they're running, and again, she's doing good, but then you look over, and he's like high stepping, like pretty tapping, like he's on parade.
You're so
the horse
mean.
Is talking shit, Rowan. The horse is talking shit.
Mad shit. Yeah, no, Rowan is she's gonna just keep moving, and then at some point she will get on his back, and put him in a headlock. Knowing it doesn't do anything to him.
All right, Rowan, I'm going to need a brawn and ride risk from you.
Flare
Yep.
to beat up my horse. Good enough. The flare. Oh, that's not bad. One of these is a 10. I got 2 5s. Look at me doing good math. 3 raises.
3 raises. Okay. You don't fall off. You do take a couple of minor wounds as you get bounced good while First Atlas is trying to get you off during the hexing. But it's mostly in fun as he just seems to be enjoying and playing and moving around to everyone. Like all of the horses will occasionally drop by and just kind of like watch as Mykolas is doing.
I think probably halfway through his usual routine, he drops down and sort of favors his shoulder because, well, system-wise, he's healed. He got run through.
Yep.
He is feeling that a little bit as he just like checks to make sure the wounds.
You can see the typical like bandages are there with the one blood spot through them, but he's a little bit sore moving. Probably say Rafael, who is not with us in present, but is with the party, probably checking over the wounds and stuff like that, and just making sure everything's okay. Probably not using any extra special approaches right now, but just generally checking on everyone and making sure people are in good shape. That reminds me, without Wolfgar here, I only get the 4 villain points for this.
Take that, DM.
I'm sure I'll get more. I'm sure.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Leonora is probably gonna gather some things from the camp. Is there a nearby stream or like a pond?
There's a very small creek making its way through the forest that you can get to.
Sure. She's going to let everyone know that she's going to go and wash up over by the creek. She's just going to gather her things and start heading over there.
You go over and it's kind of nice. There's a deer that kind of looks up from drinking as you approach the creek and kind of scampers away. And pretty nice spot, actually. Sun coming down through the trees.
So Leonora is going to take a moment, set her things down, put some water in her face, and then she's just going to look at her hands. And she's just going to take a moment and reminisce is not the right word, but just remember what happened yesterday. And she hates the feeling of that much energy and pain going through. So she's going to, at this moment, pay with blood.
Okay.
And take 4 minor wounds to release 1 lash.
And this time, the burning is there, but it is not as pronounced as other times you've paid in blood recently. And you feel just this burning sensation inside your hands. The veins in your hands go darker, but not full black. And you can just feel like if you touch the dagger on your belt, like there's a spark of static power, but it goes off and you are now down to 3 lashes.
And she's just going to bear the pain for a minute and then dunk her hands in the creek and just try to like wipe off whatever she can.
It feels good. The discoloration does not go away, but but it does feel good to get it in there and kind of discharge what's left of the energy that's still kind of around.
Absolutely. She'll just take a moment, just kind of enjoy the view. And then before she walks back, she's going to wrap her arms in fresh, new, clean wraps.
All right. Lacar, Umberto, as you are kind of going through your things in the morning, you're just kind of checking your bag. You all left in a bit of a hurry, and so it's always worth making sure that everything made it out. And so as you kind of go through, a keepsake that you've had falls out of your bag that you haven't looked at in a little while. It's something you have of Angelica Felicis. What would that be?
It would be a small game piece. It is carved in the shape of a horse.
And you pull it out. The white or the black?
The black.
Okay. So you pull out the Black Knight piece and you kind of look it over, carved exquisitely out of obsidian. This wasn't the set wasn't cheap, but this piece was available that night when you beat her in a game of chess, and she flipped the board. Several pieces shattered, and she kind of stomped off. But you always held on to this one. The night you had checkmated her with. What do you think of as you're looking at it?
She definitely had a spirit to her. It was like a wild animal in a cage that just desperately tried to get out. And no matter what I said or did, I could never free her from that. And it was... I didn't even mean to beat her. Not that I wasn't trying to let her win, but I wanted to give her some small victory. And I took that from her.
As you're looking at it, you've had this close to you for a while, for a few years now. And turning it over in your hands, you remember a process that your parents discussed with you, a special mark that could be made on an item. It requires blood, a lot of blood. But this is actually the sort of thing, it is of a similar weight, a similar size, fairly unique. Is this the sort of thing you would use as your special mark? Or would you look for something else?
This will do for now, just to make sure I can do it.
All right. For this to become your personal mark, it needs to be marked 3 times. 3 major wounds worth of damage. However you want to handle that, or when you want to handle it. 3 dramatic wounds.
He'll look around to see if anybody else is watching or close by.
Mykolas is definitely watching.
Well, you're like very intently watching as he pulls a chess piece out of his sack. Mykolas is just standing there, like oddly close up, his head in camera.
Just turns around. What the?
What you doing?
Just hopping on the balls of his feet. He'll just kind of... He'll go to pull the knife, his knife that he uses, and then he'll just put it back, and he will walk off somewhere to do it privately.
So you all see Umberto looking around. This is clearly I'm going to find, like, I see people are watching me. I've got my knife. I'm walking to a private place. Is he permitted to do so?
Roan and Persepolis. Persepolis is stomping on Roan, but like playfully, and then they both kind of pause and look where Umberto is going.
I
But
would say
don't say
Lenora is
anything.
not near the scene, so Lenora doesn't know.
I think Mykolas would actually. What are you doing?
It is not important right now. It's something I have to do. Don't worry. There's nothing serious. I will return. I could explain it, but it would take a minute, and we have enough to deal with right now. Why don't you go keep an eye on Leonora, make sure she's okay?
Yeah. Be careful.
Always.
Mykolas now feeling less assured as he had been before the always.
Yeah.
Even more sus.
And Mykolas will keep an eye out for Leonora returning. Like it's not like he could just like, no, you can't do this, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And last person to complain about having dangerous magic. So yeah, he's going to turn his attention towards the direction Leonora went.
Okay, Umberto, you managed to get out of view of everyone else. How many wounds worth of damage are you willing to take here?
I'm just going to do one for now.
Okay. You're able to reach up and bite the meat of your thumb, and placing that against the horse, against the knight, you can feel the blood flowing out of you, not onto it, but into it, infusing the object with the mark. You take a dramatic wound, and as you pull your thumb away, it heals quickly. You always do. You learned a while ago how to bleed only as much as you meant to. And you turn it around, and there is a slight smudge on the black. And you can feel it now, a connection to it. If you put it down somewhere and walked away, you could walk right back to it, as if there was a lodestone in your head. It has one mark, but as of right now, that mark is like any other Portier mark. Mykolas, heading out, you see Leonora finally starting to return. Unless, Leonora, were you going to do anything else down by the stream?
Nope. I'm just wrapped my hands and walk back to camp.
Coming up, you see Mykolas waiting for you.
How does Mykolas look?
Probably a little tired. Like, the previous day was a lot. But also, despite the fact he looks tired, he also looks a little bit lighter. Like he's not carrying quite so much of a burden.
I think walking back, Leonora sees Mykolas and sees this lightness, this bit of aura around him, and is very, very like, she also like feels that lightness, like it's been washed over her as well. But then she starts getting visions of the previous night, and her smile goes away, and she just feels like a bit ashamed about how last night went, despite everyone being fine, quote unquote. So she'll just kind of give a weak smile and then go ahead and put all of her stuff back and start like cleaning up her things and start getting food ready for everyone else.
Mykolas, do you want help?
Only if you wish. Please don't feel like you have to help. We've gone through a lot, so take some time to rest.
You also went through a lot, and burdens are easier when they're shared.
You have a point. Of course, you can get the fire going. I will cut up fresh vegetables, and we can start a stew.
Very good. And he will begin work the old-fashioned way of starting a fire.
Mm-hmm. And you'll notice he hasn't needed that for a while. How often does Mykolas do fire the old-fashioned way? Does he tend to use that power kind of willy-nilly?
I think he tries to do it the old-fashioned way as much as possible. It's just due to his relationship with it, the fire just sparks easy. It always comes. Like, this is probably going to look like a normal person trying to set a fire.
Yeah. You're looking at someone who's lost some privilege all of a sudden. Like, it's not always easy to start a fire. And you see him actually having to work at it for the first time in a while.
She's gonna because I'm assuming Mykolas hasn't told anyone about his lack of power at the moment. So
Hasn't been much time.
Yeah, Lenora's gonna take that and just think that is quite odd. And then she's just going to start chopping vegetables and just staring at Mykolas, being like, "What is wrong with you?" And probably after a little bit saying, "Do you need the help?"
No, it's just more difficult right now. As he's probably got like a little pile of brush that he's blowing into to get the flames to go. He'll almost embarrassed, I guess, look at her and I don't have my power right now.
What do you mean?
To convince Rona to leave with me instead of the ghost in charge, I had to agree to do something, and until I complete it, I don't have power.
So, this is you without power then? Interesting.
Still a soldier.
She'll kind of smile at that and say, "As you've always said." Well, again, burdens are easier when they're shared, so I guess at this time, let us know.
I will. I told you I would try and not have quite so many secrets.
You did promise me.
And I won't lie to you.
I take comfort with that. And she'll just kind of pat him on his good shoulder.
Not the accidental bad one, just the one that
maybe, let's roll for it. It's an even, so yeah, good shoulder.
He will actually tap on top of her hand when she pats his shoulder. Thank you.
Of course.
You
around this time, Umberto will be walking back into the camp, probably from the smell of cooking food.
Yep. Food is cooking.
And as he's walking, there are still apples in the cornucopia. He will grab one and pull out his knife, and it will be almost like second nature rehearsed. Like he's done it so often, he does it instinctively. And the apple is peeled. And then he just starts slicing at it.
Persepolis walks over and looks at the peeled skin and you're going to eat that?
All yours, my friend.
You go.
After a while, stew is prepared, and Lenora will start taking bowls of this vegetable stew, because I don't think that we have any animals to have cooked at the moment, and just pass it around.
Rona's now ran back finishing her workout after losing her race gracefully. And she's like obviously like sweating and like stuff like that. And she just kind of looks at everyone, and then she goes, "Huh? We're really like a little family, huh?" They should just sit at the tree and grab a bowl.
Lenora's gonna look at Raphael. She's like, "You hear that?"
And then look at Lenora, and she's just gonna go.
Raphael completely misses it. Is just kind of leaning against Roan, being like, "What?"
It feels good to have a company again. That's the only kind of family I've ever known.
Well, it is good company to keep. Right, Umberto?
I've had my fair share of friends who I wouldn't trust in a dark alley with, but you definitely are not them.
Oh, that is so considerate of you, Cugino.
Well, I don't know. That brings me to a question, Umberto. We've been traveling together for a while now, so I'm curious. Do you always get entangled with pretty women whenever you go into a town, or is this just a new thing?
Ron, if you're worried that I'm going to try to steal you from Raphael, do not worry. I understand. I know. You look at me, and I am too irresistible for you. I get it. But sometimes that is not the way that the things work out. So it's okay. Shh.
Rona's gonna throw one of the cornucopia apples right at his chest.
And he'll try to catch it.
You know what? Let's have some fun with it. Rowan, give me your finesse and aim, and Umberto, give me your finesse and brawl.
Fight.
Oh, that's not good.
Of course, flair and all that. And with the dramatic wound, one extra from the dramatic wound.
That is that's 2 from me.
All right. Umberto's able to snag it out of the air, and because that was more than you needed to negate the risk, would you like to make an edit to the scene in your benefit?
When he sees the apple coming at him, he will immediately pull out his rapier and slice it, catching one of the halves in his hand and then eating it.
Fruit
Lord.
ninja style.
Love it. You know what? That is so extra and beautiful. Take you a hero point.
Hey!
That's not normally a way they're earned, but
I will accept it.
yeah.
And Ron will go, show off.
And then he'll just wink at her.
So, we have things to talk about, yes?
If you're thinking about the next plan, then yes.
We're headed towards the capital, but we have a lot of possible ways to go to get to Avalon. I assume that's our next stop, unless somebody has some other idea.
I do believe that Rowan needs to get home.
Yeah.
So, we have a few options. They all have difficulties.
Of course. Any road traveled has difficulties. But I will defer to the lot of you since I haven't traveled very much, unfortunately. This is out of my wheelhouse.
Well, we could try to cross the continent directly. That would take a long time, and it would mean traveling through Isen, which, if you are unfamiliar with Isen, it is a zombie-filled hellscape.
Very much so. We me and my troop before, we dealt with some backlash from that at some point, and it was not fun. So I would rather not do that again, if I'm being honest.
When you say zombie,
Oh, like and then Roan will stand up and be like, oh.
And Leonora, you've heard the stories of Ison. Like every nation got involved in the 30-Year War, and the way that ended with the dead suddenly rising and dead soldiers attacking their old squad mates and company mates. How much you believed it might be up there. Like maybe it's a story that people just tell, but yeah.
very fairy tale-esque in Lenora's brain.
Kuchina, I'll put it to you this way. I've met some very scary people who actively avoid that place.
The next option, which would probably be the safest for most of you, at least, is we go north through Asura to one of their port cities and take a ship to Avalon from there. It is not the quickest route, but there are less difficulties for many of us. I may have minor problems, but only if they remember me.
Are you that recognizable?
Well, I can honestly say none of the men I faced are alive.
Oh. Well, while we're on, the subject, I may or may not be getting chased, but it's been a minute, so I don't know if it'll be a problem, but we are traveling now to a very significant different areas, so it's possible that it might be a problem for me.
The next option is next couple of options require us going through Vodachi.
Well, that was where we killed that giant siren, right?
Among other things.
Yeah, we might need to still watch out for that.
I prefer not to repeat it.
Yes.
One of them would have us going through the Vadacine Bay to get to Avalon from Vestini. It's...
Raphael at that kind of perks up a little bit and goes, the Inquisition has pretty good connections of Vestini. There probably isn't even any direct sale from Vestini to Avalon to an objectionist port. Easy enough to trade over ships in Montaigne or whatever, but...
The next option is even more complicated, because not only do we go through Vodachi, but we go instead to Tamamelo, that's the name of the city, I think. And we travel overland to Joppa, the city of five sails. It's also on the Vadacine Bay, but it is filled with people who are avoiding the law. The point of the city is that it is claimed by several nations. So there is no one nation that exercises control. And so there are no rules.
That is a little more terrifying to me.
But fun.
You say fun.
It involves probably dealing with some merchant princes.
Some Martian princes?
Less
No, merchant.
Merchants.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
So
that's,
you would know no merchant, like who controls the Vidachin sector of the city is a pretty good bellwether of who is actually the power in Vidachi at any given moment. And the higher ups there are so busy backstabbing each other to establish control that people in the Vidachin sector town can basically do whatever they want. It's almost entirely lawless.
So those are our options. None of them are appealing, but we need to pick one.
yeah.
If I'm being honest, having the ability to get there quickly would probably be best. In my opinion, I do not know. Please.
The quickest involves going through Inquisition territory and having to change ships at some point.
Yeah.
But it is the fastest.
I feel like that might be trouble for Raphael. As long as we, keep you, and he kind of looks at Raphael, safely tucked away, I guess. But the Inquisition do have a way of sniffing out things they shouldn't.
Indeed. And I have my own problems in Vodachi.
Right. Well, I would prefer to stay away from any nobilistic individuals because what chasing me is definitely connected to that. It's a monster of great whatever the fuck.
And the less time there for me, the better.
And Lenora, you are not a blood witch. You are a fate witch who has left Vidachi, which fate witches are generally not supposed to do. And you're not sure if you go back in, how likely that is to change the second time you try to leave, especially on something as official as a boat. So, but through Vestini is the fastest.
It is fastest, but if we run into complications, fast may turn into the longest very quickly.
That is true. All right. So Inquisition is bad for Raphael. Back in Vidachi is bad for me. Usura is bad for Mykolas. And definitely don't want Umberto to run around with criminals. So, Roan, I'm going to ask you I think that you have, honestly, the best knowledge to get back home.
Well, let me be honest with you. Every time I have went back home, I never realized I was going back home. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's I don't know. This weird thing, Avalonians and people from Imishmore and all that stuff that we have is that we always end up back home at the right time that we are needed to be back home.
I would say, if I'm giving a vote, as we are not currently actively being chased,
Right.
we make for the port city of Akanava, which is in Usura. We take a boat from there through Grandfather Bay and the Maw of Avalon.
I think that would be okay. We just, again, have to be careful.
I think we can do that.
All right. Well, whether or not the final decision has been made or not, the common point for all of them is the Samartian capital city of Budorigum. And so you all finish up your meal, get up, get on the horses, get on the cart, and your journey north begins. And the further north you get, it is starting to get cold. Yes.
I'm on the cart. Can I make a card? Finish my card?
Sure thing. How many raises do you yet need on?
I just need one.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. And I take my.
When you when completed, you take a lash.
Sorry. I rolled 6 die and I rolled 3 ones. That's not.
Did you get to your 1 raise?
Yes, I got my 1 raise.
All right. That does mean you have leftover dice. Would you like to sell one of them?
If I sell them, will you get rid of a lash?
No, that's not what that.
No.
Wheeling and dealing with fate. I like it. It's what you're about.
Hey,
so yeah. It is a couple days worth of travel up through the woods and then through the plains of the western region of the Samartian Commonwealth. As you were on the way there, is there anything anyone is trying to do over the course of this travel? We're going to keep the death spirals consistent. We're not going to be resetting those, but anything anyone is getting up to while you are on the road?
I mean, is there any conversations we want to have or anything like that?
There's a question of whether or not we are going to have those conversations. I'm certain that there are some conversations that people want to have.
Hey, do you want to talk about X yet? No.
Nope.
Well, I think Roan, I think maybe like probably halfway through the trip, she's been kind of staring at Umberto like a whole lot because the whole blood thing that she hasn't, the Montaigne thing that she hasn't had a chance to talk to him about, that's been like frustrating her, and like she's been thinking about it, and in a weird way, not in a weird way, she has thought about it if she needs to put him down, how she would do it. It's that bad. Yeah. And I think at some point she'll just kind of move Persepolis over to his horse and just be like, "Hey, bud."
He will be riding right next to the cart. Yes.
You cool if we have a bit of a talk? I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm all cool and chilled out, you know. And this is not a "I love you" secretly talk. You fucking, and she just kind of like bumps his shoulder a bit. Like,
Raphael, with this moment, is taking a nap in the back of the cart, kind of.
When Raphael is in the back of the cart, Lenora will hop out of the cart and get on a horse to give Raphael more space.
He will he will just kind of just be chuckling. I told you to be honest, and I didn't want the opportunity to waste. I could have let you do it yourself, but I've watched you two for a while now, and there was no hope for that horse in the race.
I think we would have that's not what I came up here to talk to you about, and regardless of the fact that you're probably right.
The rest of the party like
it's a serious thing that I need to talk to you about, that I need for you to know that people of your capabilities, with the, you know, and she's just kind of pointing at the hand and the scars and stuff, like for the Portier magic. I've definitely been responsible for quite a few of them meeting their ends because of
quick clarification. Roan isn't quite old enough to have been a major part of the rejection, so she probably has not killed a lot of Portiers.
No.
Sir Bryant had stories of killing them, though.
There it is. Yeah. I've been taught, let's switch that around, on how to do that. And so I can admit that I've gone a little bit of I wouldn't say resentment, but just it makes me uncomfortable. But because it's you, it's a bit easier to deal with.
the smile will immediately be just gone from his face, and he will kind of straighten himself up. I didn't know what I was for a very long time. And I will tell you right now that after what I saw, those stories that you heard, I can understand. It is a tool, and not one that I take lightly. And I will use it to help every one of you that I can in the way that I know how. But if I ever become like the one we dealt with, do me the courtesy of making it quick.
Well, I highly doubt we'll get to that point, because I've seen the way you use it. Which, by the way, also, that was cool as shit.
It took some getting used to. I won't lie. The first time I used it, it was interesting. But I promise you that I will only use it if necessary, and only on occasion to show off. But not like that. Never like that.
I understand. Well, we got a clarification, and I've just been thinking about it, and I kind of hate not speaking these things out loud.
As I said,
Shh.
tell the truth. Be honest.
Yeah. Thank you for understanding.
You'll never know when the opportunity to say how you feel is gone before it's too late.
And I think she'll give like a, okay, type of look at him, and then go, if you need to talk.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. And she'll just hold out a hand to shake.
And he will take it.
I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. And then she'll tap him on the back and start to move Persephon's back off to where she was riding him at.
Lenora will probably take a moment to ride up next to Mykolas, or I think because Mykolas has taken the charge.
He usually ends up out in front.
Yeah. So she'll like ride up to the side of him and just see this lightness, and she's gonna read him.
Okay. His arcana is unchanged and brighter somewhat. Wait, no. The arcana is unchanged, but actually fuzzier.
Fuzzy.
Like it's out of focus.
She's gonna ride up next to him and try to start up a conversation. Is everything okay?
That might be a bit of a stretch, but I feel her less.
Like she's not here?
She's still there.
Damn.
Never far.
I used to hear, I still hear drums.
Drums.
Do you know why armies march with drums?
I was always told to keep pace, to almost embolden the soldiers to keep going.
Yeah, it's like that. But it's the pace in which you will march in the battle. You have that in your ears so that you will keep going forward. You watch your friend die in front of you. You will keep going forward. The cannons will explode near you. You will keep going forward. Because the drums. Ever since I made my deal, I always hear the drums.
And does that haunt you more?
It drives me crazy. I feel them a little less now. I can still hear them if I pay attention, but they're less overwhelming.
Well then, we should create a distraction so you don't hear them as we are continuing forward. I don't think dancing will help. Not that I'm asking. I've never been much of a singer, but my mother used to hum to me a beautiful melody, and she'll start to hum it a little bit.
As she's humming, is she humming so she can be easily heard? Is it quiet so it's just for Mykolas?
She's being like the obnoxious like sidecar rider. Like
we're going to have a musical on this road trip. Who needs a radio?
Exactly. So she's like, and just like trying to like express what the notes are, but it may not be the most beautiful to hear.
Umberto, you've heard this tune before. It was often sung by the women in the Felici house. It was a fairly common lullaby used, to the point where most of the women and even some of the boys who'd grown up in the house would occasionally hum it without noting.
And he'll kind of just look in her direction, very, very confused.
She'll keep humming it. I don't think she's paying attention, or like she's kind of like got blinders on for forward, or like in the direction of Mykolas to just try to like find that distraction.
I think once she reaches a point where she sort of stops the song she's humming, he will lean over a bit and say something quietly so that only she can hear it. And he will say, Mawaiikwa, your distraction enough.
So what you're saying is you do not like my humming and that I should stop. All right. And then she's going to start to head forward on her horse playfully, but she's going to start like really making an advance forward.
And he will give it a little bit of a laugh and just like, no, I actually quite enjoyed it. Thank you.
Well, my humming's all the way up here, so if you want it, you have to come on up this way.
He will ride up to catch up to her. and he's smiling, which he doesn't do often.
Umberto, do you have any further commentary, or do you just kind of let that one go?
He's going to pocket that one for now, because that will raise questions that he does not want to answer right now.
Yeah, okay. As y'all are moving, suddenly another song starts drifting towards you. It's coming to you a little weird, as if someone is singing it not in your direction, and so you're hearing it vaguely, like it's being projected, not in the way. But ahead of you, a ways on the road, you see what appears to be a lone rider, also heading in the direction of the capital. And one of the first things you see, you come over a ridge, and you see him in full view. This guy is covered in guns. He's got a musket over his back. There's a few different places where pistols are in the belts, and just riding along and singing a song. None of you... oh, wait, no. Mykolas, you recognize the tune. It was one you often heard sung when there were long standoffs during the war. Usuran soldiers would sometimes sing. When the battle isn't coming, no orders are coming just yet, and they would just kind of sing and hum to each other. You recognize an old Usuran battle hymn.
So, because Leonora is the only one who would probably see his face that right then, she would see that smile fade.
Her humming quiets down into a stop, and she starts to look over at Mykolas and looks over at the lone rider. Are they coming towards us, or are they going in the same direction?
They're heading in the direction of the capital.
Gotcha. She's going to kind of speak in a lower tone and be like, do we avoid? Do we continue pace?
We should be fine. I'm sorry. That was Usuran army.
Bad. I understand. Okay. So
we shouldn't have a problem, though. We're in Sarmatia. This person would have to be an idiot to cause trouble here.
Okay. All right. So she's gonna like kind of slow a little bit so that the gap between the cart and them kind of closes a little bit more, and then they're gonna like continue pace as if everything's fine and dandy.
Mm-hmm.
After waits a bit of travel, he's not particularly looking over his shoulders or anything. Seems to be riding fairly fine. But you have him at a pace of he's about call it 100 yards or so ahead of you. Sometimes there's a turn in the path, and he'll be obscured behind trees for a while. And the song shifts from time to time. This guy's traveling like there's not a care in the world. And then at one place where he kind of disappears off, when you all make a turn around the bend, you see that there is a stream that is crossing the road at this particular point, and he has stopped to allow his horse to drink some water. And so he's a lot closer, and he looks up and is like, "Oh, hello. Welcome to you. Plenty of room at the creek if your animals need watering." Wow, that accent went all over the place on me. Anyway, and just kind of gives a wave and leaning against his horse as it's drinking.
Do our horses look like they need a lot to drink?
It tends to be a good idea to let horses drink water whenever they get the opportunity.
Mykolas will dismount and lead his horse up. He's wary, but he is, recognizing that his horse probably should drink some water. So,
as you all get closer to him, you will see as he's sitting there, he has a emblem on his vest, the mark of one of the hunter guilds. That is there, a monster hunters. And kind of looks at everyone and like, "Good to meet you. Arkady Orlenko of the Hunters Guild. A good band of heroes, I see."
Buongiorno. See, we are traveling heroes. I only aspire to be. And she's gonna lead her horse to the stream.
Roan,
Leonora Orsini.
Good to meet you.
Roan will happily gallop up and then jump off the horse. And her symbol for the guild is kind of like placed like between the armor, like on her cloth, and she would kind of pull apart the leather piece and be like, "Ah,
You're a hunter of Elgrim too. Fantastic at your age. You are. Are you Rowan?
ah, yes."
So good. Oh, but you and my Yulia, you competed. She won. But you did very well.
The immediate like drop of like smile, and just remembering that day for her, and then she goes,
It was amazing. She had caught this amazing monster, but she dropped the head. She didn't have it when it was time for the scoring. So my Yulia came out on top.
That seems very repetitive action,
"Shut up.
Rowan.
Hush." It is, but that's besides the point. Then that means that you are Arcady, right?
Yes, as I said, Arcady or Lenko. Sorry, hunters. Sometimes we go a long time without seeing each other. So Leonora Orsini, and he has a smile on his face. This is like he's not very tall, big, decent belly, and yet he carries himself with an energy that's kind of attractive. Like and not to say that you are attracted to him, but it's just a guy. The way he moves has kind of that
The swagger.
He's got that riz. Not apparently not openly flirting with anyone, but just has that kind of air.
I'm reading him.
All right, as you read him, you will see coins for the ferryman and the lovers.
Of course.
He will look around. It's like, and you. In the Vidachin garb.
Umberto will dismount from his horse and he will just kind of lead it over. Umberto Vitale, a pleasure.
Very good to meet you. Very good to meet you. Some good monsters to be found in Vidachin. They don't always like the guild being around. This is probably fine. Merchant princes, what can you do?
Well, you said monsters, so.
Jeez.
It's
And
interesting, definitely. Fun monsters, I guess you could say.
you were hunting. What were you hunting? What did you find?
Well, a few things. Firstly, sirens that my friends helped me with. And the most fun one so far, a gargoyle.
You fought a gargoyle.
I did, and
What
I fell.
Where's the trophy?
I see the look on her face. She just looks at him like,
you already cashed it in. Of course you cashed it in. Why would you hold on to it this long?
Yep, exactly that.
And and sorry, you sir. And we'll look over to Mykolas.
There's almost a look of, oh no, they noticed me on his face. And he'll turn. My name is Mykolas Kelvan.
So good to meet you, Mykolas. And here we are in your own country. It's the fantastic place, fantastic people, the vodka, maybe a little weak, but in general, everything's been great.
We invented the vodka that you drink.
And we made it better. It's good. Thank you for the part you played. And anyway, he's looking around, drinking everything. It's like, I'm traveling to the capital now, eventually to be heading home. Which way are you all going? Obviously, you're going along the road in this direction. But for how long will you be traveling on it?
To the capital is our destination so far. We have yet to distinguish where to go next.
Brave heroes never know where the path might take you next. I get that. This is my way all the time. I'm actually, and he turns over and he gives his horse a bit of a smack on the hindquarters so it moves around. You can see hanging from the side a particularly gruesome head, vaguely humanoid, very large teeth. Rowan, you would recognize this as some Martian troll.
Oh. Troll. That's by yourself?
Well, yes, it's almost unfair, to open up with the musket and then the 2 pistols. By the time it gets to me, they just run in a straight line. You're in trouble is when you try to go hand to hand with them. Then they, whack you around a whole lot.
You must be quite the accomplished hunter.
I'm pretty good. And Rowan,
good?
He's full of shit. He's
yeah. It is, she'll just kind of be like, pretty good? This man is in the top 10 best of the guild, along with Sir Bryant, many others.
Actually, I've heard word that Bryant is in the area. Some people heard him. What's wrong?
Lenora's face just kind of drops.
So does Rowan's, and she just goes, in battle recently he has fell, so that's why we are heading to Avalon eventually.
Are you thinking to go via Grandfather Bay?
I think that was the plan. Yeah,
I might be able to help put you on a good road there. Oh wait, and he kind of steps forward to Ron. I barely recognized you, Persepolis. You're looking so good. You're looking so young. Persepolis kind of whinnies at him. I understand, but what are we? Really, you're going to take up with the younger crew? You're not going to retire. Persepolis whinnies. I understand she can be grumpy, but she's not going to be happy if you're avoiding them by traveling with Rowan.
Is he talking to Persepolis like straight
up? He
really
seems to be talking to Persepolis.
This man.
You have a way of speaking to horses.
Well, I don't actually understand what he's saying, but I feel like you can infer from the body language.
Oh, yes, of course.
All right. Well, shall we travel together then? My horse is almost watered. Is yours all find the way?
Well, if everyone else is okay with it, I'll be okay with it.
I do not see why not.
I do not object.
If you say they're okay, Ron, then I find no fault in this.
A friend of Rowan's, indeed. Yes. Well, you're all hunting up. It's starting to get a little late in the evening. Let me go see if I can shoot some food for us.
Okay.
And he'll pull out his musket. He will look to Mykolas. That's like, care to join me? Make a little contest of it?
Yeah, and he'll grab his musket and pistol. I'll be right back.
So we won't move.
If you hear shots, it means food is coming.
Yeah, set up camp, I guess. And
all right. Be safe.
Of course. I'm always safe. You know that.
She's gonna roll her eyes like aggressively.
Ron is after they leave. Ron waits. And she goes, "Oh my god! She's like fangirling, like in private.
So as you are going, what is your approach on your hunt, Mykolas? Are you gonna shadow him and try to shoot anything he sees first, or are you gonna look for your own target?
I'm gonna look for my own target because I don't want him perceiving me taking a subordinate position. Also, I don't want him worried about the Sarmatian standing behind him with the rifle.
From as far as you could tell, like you are correctly, like because he's been singing User More stuff. He has no nervousness that you can perceive whatsoever from you. Just has this energy. Does not mind if you fall behind, but you trying to be respectful of that. Go ahead and give me your wits and notice, unless you want to try to talk me into something else for your hunt.
Let me see. Wits plus notice, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't really see anything else that would be a better choice than notice. Like warfare really doesn't apply, athletics doesn't apply. So
if you were trying to feed a whole company of people, like a big group, maybe warfare could come in. But yeah,
all right,
notice is probably your best bet.
So, and I get to have flair. Yay, flair! Okay,
2.
Yep.
All right. Onto you're moving around and kind of going through the woods. You've got your musket out, and a little ways away, you notice a rabbit, and a decent sized. This is a woodland hare, hopping around, and you're able to draw a bead and fire, and down it goes. A little bit after that, you hear another report of musket fire off in the distance, and you hear a "Hey, there we go!" And shortly afterwards, as you are coming back with, and I don't know if you've ever seen like a hare. Like people think rabbits, and they're like this. Hares are big animals, and Mykolas has one. And coming back over his shoulder, Arcady has actually shot a fairly young buck that he has over his shoulders. And as he's walking back in, and the conquering hero, his first shot, and he clearly hit it. Well done.
Yeah.
Lenora starts clapping.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he will bring it into camp and immediately sit down with his knife to skin and gut it.
Mm-hmm. While they're gone, does anyone talk to Roan about the clear?
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%. So tell me, tell me more about this Arcady.
Well, me and his daughter are. You see an eye twitch. Are rivals, I guess you could say.
Ah.
Yeah, we had it out a few times. But if I'm being honest, I could probably trust him with my life. For her father, which is, Arcady.
Not bad blood, I would assume.
No, it's just that where I somehow miraculously always lose the head of the target of the bounty, she always gets the fucking thing. So
Ooh.
that, but her father is extremely capable. Her mother is also in the top 10 of the Hunters Guild.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it is. Yep. We'll figure it out soon because, unfortunately, a spot has opened. So somebody will move up, and I'll be damned if it's her. And she just looks off in the distance. Like
Entire familia. Wow.
If looks could kill.
I mean, there's a lot of them that are in the guild and are very proficient and good at what they do. I believe 3 of them are in the top 10. And they will be very happy if there was fucking 4. And you can just hear the like jealousy, like the in her voice. But he's interesting. If I could be honest with you, all 10 of them, they are very strong in personalities. I've only met maybe 5 of them.
5 is a lot.
Yeah.
But Roan, you know that you are a force to be reckoned with as well.
I would like to think so. Yes.
Well, you can believe it because I've seen it.
You just need a little more confidence. Don't let these great and wonderful people make you seem like you're worth less than you are.
And just remember, Arcady is just people.
He's also an individual that shot a target from half a mile away.
Okay, that's impressive.
Oh,
See?
Actually, at this, Umberto, you remember a whole thing where a merchant prince set up a monster hunt with the intention of getting Arcady to assassinate a rival without knowing he was doing it. And Arcady clocked what was happening and instead put a bullet in the goblet of the guy who had hired him as a warning, don't ever do that again.
Damn.
Wait a minute.
I could.
Wait. Oh, okay. Yes. I seem to recall that story. Damn. Did not realize that was him.
Yeah.
Lenora's gonna like walk over towards Persepolis and give him like some pets and just be like, "Do you like this Arcady?"
And Persepolis, yes, but also with a sense, like you get this sense of hesitation, like, yeah, he's a good guy, and I like him. But a quick glance over at the cart, but my master was better.
Is there anything that like distinguishes that Arcady's horse is as like prominent as Persepolis?
No, Arcady's horse is a very good horse. That you can tell, but not
the same level.
Is not a Persepolis. No,
Perfect, awesome.
It's more of a scout horse. Like it's clear that horse was never designed to carry someone loaded down with armor. A lot of guns, sure, but not.
Sure.
Around this time, you all will hear a couple of shots go off in fairly close succession, and later up they come back with Arcady giving Mykolas credit for the win on the hunt, having hit a target first and successfully brought it back. Well done. This calls for a true feast. Hang on. And he goes into his saddlebags and he pulls out, I propose a friendly competition. And Roan knows among hunters, everything is always a competition.
Oh, yeah.
And not always friendly, but he said friendly competition. And he pulls out a bottle of Uzuran vodka. And he's like, do you happen to have any Samartian with you?
Yeah, of course.
Here is my proposition. We bring out a glass for everyone. And we only need the two. We bring out the two glasses. We fill them up. None of the others see, and you and I were experts, so and we allow the others to try both vodkas and see if they can pick which one they like better. Blind taste test, if you will.
I have a question. Is the objective to figure out which one is better or which one is Usuran?
If you want to collect the Usuran, if you want to choose for your friend, however you want to do it. We'll say the one you like best, but if you think you can clock whose is whose and you want to, choose in favor of your friends, I would not be offended.
I was just curious.
Agreed, Mr. Kelvan?
Yes, I can agree to that.
All right, so he pulls out a couple of fairly nice metal cups and he sets them down. Kind of takes him behind his horse so folks can't see. Pours a little from both bottles into the two glasses and then comes and sets them up very well. Who shall go first? Roan, my girl.
Okay, and she'll take a drink.
All right. One of them has, so they're both vodka, and you recently had your first experience with vodka. The first one is smoother than the second one. The second one is a bit more intense on a burn. No. Before you say, Leonora last.
I must be honest. I try to stay away from the drink, so I'm only taking a sip.
It's fine. Don't let me make you uncomfortable. If you're not comfortable with it, don't drink. But Just friendly. A sip of both would be fine.
All right. And she's going to take a sip of the first glass.
Burning death.
Ah!
Oof.
She makes like a distinguished face, like. Okay, and then she takes the second one.
Burning death, but with an accent.
Ah! And she.
And the Vadajan knows that. The Vadajan fighter like yourself knows to drink. Oh, yeah, your turn.
None for me, thank you.
Are you certain?
I avoid drink at all point. My job requires that I be focused.
Very well. And then he holds up the two and goes back and forth and hands the first glass to. Well, actually, wait. Before that happens, he would look and be like, "Yeah, first cup or second cup? Which do you think was the superior?"
And then I'm just gonna roll. The second was particularly flavorful.
And you, Roan.
The first one, I think.
Then we have a split contest. And he would hand the first glass to Mykolas and lift up the second one. To all vodka. The proof that there is indeed a Theas and that Theas loves us.
Or the gods.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Coronian. Yes. Who gets the credit for this?
Let's call it a tie.
Okay. No, which of the old gods? Does any of them take the credit for the vodka?
Oh, no.
That's the one you want to be worshipping, if you have options.
I think honestly, the goddess of the harvest.
Oh, yes. I've always been amazed. They always draw her with the most amazing figure. Like, everything it's incredible. Anyway. And as he sits back, the night is going late. There is hare, there is deer, there is whatever is wanted from the cornucopia. And the group is able to just relax and enjoy some real good food. And with that, we are going to take a quick break. So we will be back shortly. If I'm with you, it'll probably be fine.
You're with me, and I'm with Verity. We'll be fine.
Nice. Who's that? Oh, right. The Montanian tart.
Hey, you speak nice of my friends.
Oh, she's your friend. I'm sorry. I'm fucking up all over the place.
If you were wanting to make a good impression, you're struggling a bit there. We're going to have to give you a better chance when you're sober.
Right. Did you see the fight, though? I took like 5 of them down.
Aren't you so strong? And
You walk him back in. Everyone else has come down and having a lovely breakfast being served by cooks who do not often have.
you know what? I can't argue with that. And she'll just lead him back to the group.
While they were gone, Verity would be like, I don't know how she found someone of her people to hook up with in the night when we just got here.
And welcome back. The night goes well. Stories are swapped. A bunch of them embarrassing for Rowan in various ways, though Arcady does make a habit of always singing her praises too. Like even when there's stuff he doesn't realize is shade. He doesn't know that she almost never manages to bring back a head from a hunt. And so he'll drop things. It was weird that they didn't have it that time, but it doesn't really come up. You all sleep. The night goes well. And the next morning, you all are getting up and getting ready to travel. And Umberto looks like he's up to something.
He's going to get up and he's going to just kind of look around, grab himself an apple, and he's going to walk over to Leonora. Did you sleep well?
Well, with all that fresh food, I couldn't help but sleep. Could you tell?
Yes, it's definitely a change of scenery, and I cannot wait to find a very comfortable bed.
Yes. She's like starting to she's like wiping off the drool on her face.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Well, I mean, we've been through a lot, but given the current circumstances, I'm doing all right. Are you?
It remains to be seen, but I'm okay for now.
Do you mean to worry me, Cugino?
No. The fact that you are here and we did not lose you,
She's gonna just embrace him in a hug immediately.
And as he does that, he is going to try to slip the chess piece on her.
Are you going for like into her bag, something on her belt?
Into her bag.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'll put it. I'll actually put it on her belt somewhere, so it'll be with her. She could lose the bag.
What is your theft score?
3.
This isn't really a risk. So with a theft of 3 and a notice of 2, I'm going to say you succeed. And you managed to deftly slip the Black Knight into one of the bags that she has hanging from her belt. And the trip continues. The rest of the trip to the capital, the further you go, the more kind of crowded the road starts getting. The roads becomes a true road as more and more little like tributaries coming from other outlying villages and stuff come together, and you come up on the grand city of Budogrim, or as some call it, the accidental capital. It wasn't even the capital of the Western province when the two nations came together. It sort of became the common seat, a city that did not have strong ties to the existing political situations in either nation in one place. Though it is noted by Coronians that it is very far into the west. It became the city it was by managing trade from Eisen, but with the advent of the 30 Years' War, that became much less needed. And so rather than let it go to waste and let the city falter, it became the center of government for the new Commonwealth. And it holds the Grand Government Hall, which is a truly massive building, because whenever it is called upon for there to be a citizen vote, literally, theoretically, every citizen of Samartia could come and vote. It's basically an arena, and it is a massive building that is still under construction, even though this has been the state of affairs for a while. Mykolas, you look like you had something to say.
I suspect that Mykolas would explain while they were coming up that technically, as of a few years back, by royal decree, every citizen of Sarmasha is also a noble, so that they can vote.
Lenora takes this and then turns to Mykolas and gives him a little bow.
Was a bit of a loophole so that he could keep nobles from taking too much power. He made everybody a noble so they couldn't monopolize the power.
She turns to Umberto and kind of under her breath, she says, "It sounds like he wants us to call him Your Majesty or something."
Umberto will give this very, very overly done bow. My lord, I did not know I was in the presence of nobility. Forgive me.
So,
Lenora will go in kind.
So this means you're some kind of prince?
No, it means that every person around you, as you look across the street, every single person here is a noble.
Good to
It's
know.
pretty impressive, actually. Arcady says, like, my Mishka, she once accidentally wandered into a place and voted. She's not even Samartian. She didn't know what was happening.
So wait, if we go in there, do we become noble?
No,
They've
but if
always
you
wanted to be a princess.
but if you become a Sarmatian citizen, I imagine you would.
I'll fake it.
I'm sure that you would make a lovely princess.
Thank
wish she
you.
gives it
I think I
enough.
would too. Oh, you meant no? Of course you did.
She gives another bow.
You're still pretty too, Umberto. Don't worry.
Oh, I know.
Prettiest of all of us.
Indeed.
As if you had any competition. Please.
Competition?
Oh.
No,
No.
Arcady. No.
Well, I'm assuming we'll stop, for dinner somewhere, and then there will probably be girls serving, and then we could have a friendly wench off if you so wanted.
Lenora rolls her eyes, but like is still smiling.
He'll look at Roan. I don't think that's a good idea, but
No.
life is young.
So you all head in, and not so worth saying because there's been a mention of I want a good bed after all these nights of sleeping rough. Are you looking for a tavern / inn in the outskirts of town, or are you going into the center of town and looking for some?
Mykolas will recommend going into the center of town. He has his own reasons for wanting to go into the center of town anyway, so sleeping there is probably a good idea.
Anyone raise any objections to that?
No, go. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Aye, my lord.
I my lord.
Yes, Your Majesty, as you wish.
They're going to keep this up all day, aren't they?
You are damn right.
Raphael is like, yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
As you all ride in, you see a place that's actually called the Samartian Princess, and it's clearly a play on "We're all nobles now." There's a painted clapboard over the door, and it has what looks to be a milkmaid, but she is clearly denoted the Samartian Princess, and so it's clear that the common folk are enjoying it, and they also are in this weird state of disbelief. Like, you can call me a noble all you want to, I still have to milk the damn cow. But like just that sense of kind of joy and expectancy, it's clear they're having fun with it. But on the way to the Samartian Princess, you pass a sort of dour-looking building, but that looks very open. And Mykolas, you would recognize this as one of the museums that is set up to Devi, and theoretically holds the heads of Devi who have been captured and killed.
He will point it out. Actually, that is a museum that the Losejas maintains to show the heads of defeated Devi.
Oh, I wonder who they got from the back of your head.
He almost doesn't flinch.
That sounds terrifying.
A little bit.
You actually see like kids coming up and like looking like kids that got to see kids with grotesque things. Like, that's so gross. Let's go look at it again. Can we poke it? Can we? It's got that kind of energy.
It should be said that Devi largely look like people, only taller, more stretched out.
I would say it would be probably wise to know what we are dealing with. And she's going to start heading towards the museum.
Oh, okay.
Arcady looks at you all and says, I actually need to go by the guild hall. I need to turn the head in. So, but if you all don't mind, if you're going to be at Samashing Princess, I can join up with you later if you want.
Yeah.
Well, but I really want to go to the. But they're going to the.
Rowan, you should go.
No.
Go to the
No,
hall.
stay with your friends. Stay with your friends.
Go to the hall.
She start crying. Like, she's like, I don't know.
I did not mean to overcomplicate it. I'm just turning the head in. It's not going to be like big business or anything.
How about this? I'll go with them to the Defy thing, and then I'll go and visit the guild afterwards.
Okay.
Maybe there's some jobs we can take up while we're traveling through. So, yeah.
Mykolas, of course, is going to the museum with Leonora.
Mm-hmm.
Roan will go for with them. Wear her head down just a little bit.
I could have gone to the guild hall with Arcadia or Link.
You should have.
Exactly.
Arcadia rides off, and you all stop in front of the museum. You're able to tie up your horses, and actually, again, like this is a place. It's clear they expect out-of-town travelers, and so they actually have like a place for them to tie up their horses with a guard to watch the horses and make sure no one's, robbing baggage or anything like that. It's very obviously very encouraged for the people of Samartia to come to museums like this when they get a chance. But again, the building does have a dour feel to it because it is a building about killing these creatures and then displaying them. And as you all walk in, if you've ever been to like a community like public museum type thing and know the kind of volunteers that they have there, like this ancient old grandmother, it looks like steps out, stepping on a bit of a sick, and it's like, "Oh, welcome. Have you been to the museum before?"
I have not.
Okay. Oh, Vitale, very nice, very nice. And you, sir, to Mykolas.
Yes, Danta, I have.
You're from, of course you have. Bring in your friends. Very good. Very educational. Oh, you're a big one, aren't you? To Rowan.
Hello. I have not been here before.
All right. Very good. Excellent. And another Vidachin. You, sir.
No, this is my first time.
Well, excellent. Well, then we will take you through this hall first. It is 1 silver piece.
Pay,
Okay.
of course.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And he leads you through, and you see a very educational number written in a bunch of languages about Sandaris and the magic of the deal and the role that the Losejas play, like how generally, most of the advice is aimed towards do not make deals with Divai, but sometimes people have to, and this is what they do when they do. And so it's combination, oh my God, don't do this. But if you have to, here's the way we want you to do it so that you can blah, 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 blah. So it's got that kind of dual thing. And like they're kids walking around and looking at it, and all of them, without fail, talk about, man, if I ever got to make a deal with the Divide, then I would want like the firepower or the stuff like that. It's sort of going. And the parents going, no, it's bad. You do not make deals with Divide. But if you have to, you do this. And moving around. And the old lady gets very preachy with her talk, because unlike some other sorceries, this doesn't matter if you make a deal with the Divide or not. The Divide mostly exist within the Commonwealth, but anyone could potentially cross their path and make a deal. And so, particularly to Rowan, Leonora, and Umberto, there's a lot of, no, I don't think you've looked at this properly enough. Look here, this is like a swath of, and you'll see a painting of like a whole swath of forest that got burned, or an entire bay that was frozen, or a storm that came in and sank an entire armada, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is pretty terrifying. I definitely would not want to have dealings with that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Will any of what Umberto sees and hear connect what he saw in the in-between?
Nothing here yet. There aren't any pictures of the divine.
Okay. This is kind of terrifying and very interesting, I will admit.
Now, here, the nature of the divine. So you know what you're doing. And she goes into the next room, and here you see several paintings and even a sculpture credited to various Losejas through time. And as you were looking at them, now, Umberto, you recognize the figure that you saw in the in-between.
And he will just say, we meet again.
Did you say something, Kujino?
No, sorry. It's nothing.
You say that quite a lot.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
She's going to go closer to wherever he's standing and look up at what he's looking at.
Would you say he would be in front of one of the paintings or the sculpture?
The sculpture.
You see this sculpture, and again, this a seemingly male coded figure, very tall, very lean, and at first glance, rather attractive, but only at first glance. The longer you look, more and more details are just wrong. The arms are too long. Particularly the fingers are too long. Just everything is exaggerated and elegant, but alien. An attractive humanoid figure, but definitely not human.
Are there any like placards or nameplates or any descriptions by this?
No name is being attributed to this particular one.
Interesting.
But Mykolas, as you walk up, the voice says, Mavros. Now, when did they get a good enough look at you?
Mykolas will sort of quietly say, I take it you knew this Mavros?
I have not seen him for some time. I wonder if he fell or became exalted.
Exalted.
Fully named, fully empowered, fully victorious. I doubt it. He was too taken in the pleasures of the flesh.
Yes. Well, do they actually kill you?
Let's find out.
Okay.
As you're all looking around, you go into the next room, the room of the heads. It is a long galley-like hallway with shelves on either side, with the very preserved, like completely dehydrated, looks like they maybe got wrapped in salt for an extended period of time, and then placed on these shelves of various heads. And each of them, these have elaborate descriptions of when this device reached their full power and how it was brought down and killed. And you're walking along the rows. And it's hard to tell. They are, like I said, they look very wrong, but are they a bit bigger than your usual human head? Maybe. Are they Stretched out? Yeah, but they've been so dehydrated. What are you all focusing on as you're looking around?
I'm focused on how many, like approximately how many do we see?
40 in this room, 20 on each side.
40?
Jeez.
And Lenora's gonna like kind of she's not gonna be able to like tell anything, but she's gonna try to read.
Yeah, there's no fade in or out of this room.
Yeah.
I think Mykolas is going to look at the descriptions of the stories, I guess. Like the heads, he can't tell if they're human heads or Devi heads. They are too similar. There's no way he could tell for sure. So he's just looking at the accounts.
And you're looking out of the accounts, you're walking around, and very mythologized fight type stuff, clearly written for an audience to be like, this was where the cruel creature came. And then about midway down the row on the left, you come to the one labeled Rona, Crow of War. Well, what do you know? I seem to be dead. I'm sure it's a great relief for you.
I didn't believe that they were real to begin with.
It seems your circle has been doing some storytelling. And so convenient, isn't it? That the bodies of the fallen Losejas go into a nameless pit. No one to notice the heads are missing there. I wondered. This has been educational.
Not all of the myths and legends are untrue, and you know it.
Indeed. But I've never heard of one of my kind fully ascending and being stopped by anyone. Hard to imagine, isn't it?
Can you imagine me giving up?
No, not ever. I love that about you, Mykolas. And you have the slightest sense of fingers in your hair.
Like, and he does that thing that probably Leonora would notice, and just like, oh no.
Lenora clocks it.
Yeah.
And she walks over to wherever the head is. And she reads.
And she sees Rona, Crow of War.
And she looks Mykolas with such hatred and such like disbelief. Wordless, just expression, looking dead in his eye.
He matches your gaze, but there's a look of determination, maybe a little sadness, but like this isn't a man who's given up. And he just gives a slight shake of his head.
Lenora will look to the others, see what they're doing, and then she's going to proclaim, well, I think I have seen enough. Thank you so much for the educational tour. We have other things to do. And she's just going to storm out of the museum.
Rowan, as you are walking out, glancing around, you come upon one of the heads with a bullet hole in its forehead. And the credit for that kill, it's one of the newest ones in the room, is given to Arkady Orlenko.
Ooh. I think at first it was like excitement, but then pure jealousy just kind of enraged her body. And she's like, oh, this family. And then what is the name of the divide? Is it like
Croy, the name of the divide is Croyus the Darkwing.
oh. I think she's just kind of looking at that, and then she'll finally like turn and like look around where the others are.
Yeah, sees that they're
And see Lenore walk out. And then she'll just look at Mykolas with a confused face.
Mykolas will actually turn and after it'll be a little bit after Lenora leaves because doesn't want to step on her moment among other things. But he will turn and leave without any words. He will just turn and walk out.
Okay.
As you are looking at this figure with this hole in his head, Rowan, what would you want to become the greatest hunter ever?
She just hears that voice out of nowhere.
Yep. And I'm going to, just for the sake of things, unless, was Umberto lagging back or would Umberto have walked out?
He would have made his way back to, he would have found the sculpture again, and he would have just said, it's always easy to fear what you don't see, but now I've seen you, and that makes you so much easier to kill.
No reaction.
And then he'll leave.
Yeah, but while you're in that room, Rowan, in this moment, you are alone in the hallway of the heads. And you hear a voice. What would you give to be the greatest of the hunters?
And she just starts kind of laughing. Wow. Any chance y'all get, huh? Fuck off. And she's gonna turn. And she'll start to leave. Like completely disregarding that she heard a voice. But in the back of her mind, it did freak her out.
Umberto, you hear this as you're walking out. She's like, any chance you'll get, huh? And he says to a deadhead,
It's very eye-opening in there.
Yeah. And I think I'll just not deal with that for a while. That was a experience.
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll circle around again for you. Eventually.
Maybe.
as you all make your way out, Rowan, Persepolis is looking very intently at you as you walk out of the museum.
She'll make her way over to him. What's wrong?
He'd lean forward, kind of snuffle at Rowan, and then give what you interpret as an approving toss of his head, and kind of step in position, make it easy for you to mount.
Yeah, she'll get on with no issue.
You all make it back to the Samartian princess. Arcadia is not back yet. As you all walk in, you're able to secure rooms. Kind of well-worn looking, tired innkeeper kind of steps up to you, kind of gruff old man, and goes, okay, we've got the two women, the three gentlemen, 2 rooms, 3 rooms. 2 rooms. Okay. We put you up. We'll put you on the wing far on the side. There is music and dancing down here in the evenings. There is poetry tomorrow night if you're interested, and food pretty much all the time. And after handling all the payment, you all are able to get things set up in your room. Mykolas, you had mentioned that there was something else you were wanting to get into, a reason to stay downtown. What are you up to?
He is, after making sure the rooms are arranged for and drops off some things, he's going to quickly go to whatever building he would know to go to report to...
To the Ratas.
No.
Oh, to the king.
Yep.
Oh,
right. You make your way towards the palace. Now, near the palace is one of many military buildings where the various troops go, and this is one where your main contact. Do you have a name for them in chance offhand on your backstory?
No.
Or okay,
no, I had the prince and the advisor, but those are probably not the main contact.
Yeah, you don't just walk into their offices. So we'll say I don't know, Lieutenant Lamar. Not a very summation name, but whatever I could come up with on the time. Lieutenant Lamar is in there, and when you arrive, you are very quickly ushered up to him. He's like, Mykolas, I was not expecting you back in the capital.
And passing through. Just wanted to deliver a report, and he'll hand a written thing to him. But the long and the short of it is there were Montanian mercenaries operating within Sarmatia.
Portiers?
Portiers.
Hard to defend the border against them.
They killed at least one person I'm aware of, and were seemingly causing havoc in the region. They have been, well, one was driven off, the other one I believe is dead, and so are all of the people working for them.
Wait, is this... You encountered a vagabundo? Well, to be fair, would Mykolas have included that in his report?
Nope.
Okay,
just that these people were there and that they had been dealt with. He didn't go into the details of any of his party.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, Marco, the vagabundo who encountered...
No.
All right, so kind of reads through and goes, very well. We had heard of some trouble in the region of Novina. We'll send a few extra patrols there to make sure that the tower is not so easily refilled. Maybe just collapsed.
Half the tower is gone.
No, then probably just collapse it then. It was only ever going to become an outpost for bandits anyway. All right, anything else to add?
I'm going to be passing out of the country again, but I figured since I was here, I would drop off the report.
Which direction will you be going?
Isura?
To the north. Well, we are not currently in active war. The border is, of course, patrolled, but a small band, like you describe you're moving with, should not be a problem. Let's see here. Did you mention Janos?
No.
In your report, okay. Very well. Looks like you're doing good work. The prince will be pleased.
I will, and while it isn't in his report, he'll say in the moment. I have been approached by the Ratas.
What did they tell you?
Obey or they'll do something about it.
They're not wrong.
No,
Think you can walk the line?
I will do my best. I keep my oaths.
Excellent. So few soldiers end up among their numbers. This is a rare opportunity to get real insight to what they're up to. Of course, the prince is not in a position to antagonize anyone, least of all a group like the Ratas, but...
One thing I have discovered that you may want to convey to the prince.
Indeed.
The heads are a lie.
This is known. It was agreed between the government and the Losejas that a way to calm the people and show them that that situation is well in hand was a good lie to have. It has survived several governments. What was it that keyed you in?
They have the head of the Devai who walks with me.
This Rona, yes?
Yes.
We will see to it that that placard is changed.
I think maybe the lie is not good.
The people believing that they can be destroyed is what prevents panic. It's what prevents people like you from being hunted like witches and prevents the Inquisition from gaining an extra hold within Samartia. It is a political necessity.
They can be killed, though.
Of course. We merely offer proof to those who would demand it.
I am going to tell some of my party about my arrangements.
I presume you do this because you trust them?
With my soul.
Those get expensive in this work. Do as you wish, but understand the consequences might then also fall upon them.
I keep my word.
As do we.
Good day. And as he
reaches under his desk and tosses you a bag, and as you catch it, it's full of coin. You're not often in to get your soldiers' wages, so...
Thank you. If there is any correspondence, I will check with one of the various places that we have offices when I reach them.
Correspondence, yes. Your old company still does well in the field.
Good.
Stick to the west of Usura.
West. Duly noted.
Dismissed, soldier.
Very good, Lieutenant. And as he on his way back, and this speaks volumes of his relationship with the Ratas, he leaves an envelope in their, essentially their mailbox.
Okay.
And continues walking.
Yeah. What is in that envelope?
I killed the one you sent me after.
All right. So just that one line of in your name?
Yep.
All right. You drop that off, and no sign of it being immediately spotted, and you make it back. In the Samartian Princess. Oh, wait, Rowan. After everyone else checks back in, do you head to the Hunters Guild?
My unmute button wasn't working. Yes. That's exactly what she does.
All right, so you find... so the Hunters of Velgrim, actually, were founded in Samartia. And you go in... This was some time ago, their founding, actually before the Commonwealth existed. And... as you make your way around through, you come into what looks like kind of a guild hall. It's like, actually, if you've ever been to a Shriner's Hall, like half meeting place, half bar, it's a guild with a 2-drink minimum. As you come in and drinks are being passed around, there are trophies up on the wall, a lot of stuffed heads, tales of various successful hunts. And you notice Arcadia is kind of in the middle of it, looking like he'd meant to just come in and out, but has kind of been surrounded by some of the younger hunters and is being called upon to share his tales. And Arcadia never minds doing that. And which was one of the reasons why him and Sir Bryant always got along. They were very much two kindred souls within the guild. And they're going back and forth and chatting. And he looks at you and goes, Rowan!
She'll just kind of lift a hand for a greeting. Can we talk, or am I taking away from something?
No, these are fine. You all go to work. Go do your work. Do the good hunts. And he kind of gestures you over to a corner. Yeah, come, take a seat.
And she'll sit down and wait until all the other ones have left. And she'll look very seriously at Arcadia and go, so I went to the museum and saw your work.
Oh, the Vi.
Yeah. I feel like I should be concerned. Just a little.
What got you concerned?
They were called, and she'll whisper it Corius the Dark Wing, right?
It's not like we ever got personally acquainted or anything. It's what they said it was called. So,
oh well. I heard a voice right after looking at that, so I feel like that's a bunch of bullshit.
You heard the voice, like a Vi reaching out to you.
We were in the museum of them, so I'm assuming yes.
Did they? What was the deal they offer? That's how the Samartians say it works, right? They offer a deal, and you take it, and they give you great power at the cost of your soul.
Well, the voice in the back of my head said, and she'll hold out her hand. What will you do for great power? What would you lose for great power? And then I said, fuck off. Don't know if that was a good idea or not, and that is what making me a little worried.
Well, so long as the Vi are not connected to a Losejas through Sandaris, then they have no power in our world unless they become exalted and step through. So angering one who is looking for a partner, only a problem if they then find a partner.
Right.
But you know how the Hunters of Velgrim began, yes?
And she just absentmindly blink at him. Mm-hmm.
Velgrim is the Vi.
She's kind of leans over the table.
Velgrim was the Vi of the first member of our guild. Made the deal. A monster, I believe a horde of basilisk had overrun this village, and he was out hunting at the time and came back and found a village of stone, and was asked, "What would you do to get your revenge?" He took the power, all but wiped out all the basilisks in Samartia, and then used it, expanded the hunt, suddenly had knowledge of any monster you could want. Wrote it all down, and that was the beginning of our guidebook.
Oh. Did I just tell? Oh, no. It's just kind of like, said she,
Velgrim, the bear of Velgrim is known.
Oh, okay. Then not to worry. She was like starting to sweat a bit. She's like, okay, well, I'm
To hear talk, Velgrim is now much more into the hunt than anything else. He's very connected to the guild. Has the last 4 guild leaders, in fact, have borne Velgrim.
right.
The day may come. In fact, between you and me is why Sir Bryant never became guild head. He said it would be a violation of his oaths.
Sound about right, and I understand that. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
Did he not tell you that? He didn't like it.
Sir Brian didn't really. He didn't tell me things that he didn't like, unless it was immediately going to affect me in a way.
Hmm.
So I didn't know that.
He liked the way you looked at him.
I mean,
For you, he wanted to be the hero of legend. Wanted to live up to your hero worship.
yeah. And she'll like kind of blush a bit, and then goes, well, I don't think I should be worried, but I am interested in looking into more hunts and whatnot.
We're a bit low on contracts at the moment. Nothing of your level. I hear there's a lot of work up in Usura, though. Rusalka, in particular, becoming a problem.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll be on the lookout for that then.
All right. Obviously, near mountain streams, lakes, especially. If you happen across beautiful women who want to make you or request that you go swimming with them, turn them down. But don't just kill mountain bathing women. But
I mean, yeah, I understand it. But okay. I will make sure to be on the lookout for it. Also, I'm very used to turning down that type of thing. So
turning down the offers to swim.
no, well, yes, I guess I don't know, but thank you.
Of course.
And this travel is going to be. Well, are you going to still help us out with making our way? Or
Yeah, I don't have any contracts at the moment. Thought I might go back, see if I could find my Mishka somewhere, or maybe see my daughter. Who knows?
oh, better yet, how about this? And watch as she takes out a piece of paper and she writes down, "I will surpass you, guarantee it." Dear
Oh, my Yulia. Yes.
dear you, and then give the piece of paper and like kind of seal it.
Mhm.
Make sure you give that to her.
If I see her, sure.
Yes.
Will you be staying here at the Hunter's Lodge, or will you be staying with your companions?
We're gonna be at the
Samartian Princess, yes.
March Princess, yeah.
Yes, I might come out for some drinks, but I always have a room here, so it doesn't seem to make sense to pay.
No problem. Well, I'll see you soon.
Indeed.
And she'll shake his hand
Mhm.
and start to make her way back.
Mhm. You start walking back, and you all just have this. All of you have a lot to think about, but in particular, Mykolas and Lenora, there's a moment where as people are drifting around, it's just kind of you like in the hallway. You're not in the common room. You're both kind of coming out of your rooms after dropping your stuff off.
Lenore is leaned up against the wall with her hands crossed, just like looking up at the ceiling, just trying to figure out any feasible connections or possibilities or why the hell everything is the way it is right now. Like she's just trying to like come up with like the next plan, the next solution as much as possible.
Mykolas will walk up to her and lean against the wall near her. It was a discovery for me as well.
She stays silent and she's just like up in her head, just like thinking. And she has moments where she's closing her eyes going, "Ugh," and then she'll open back up and be like, no. And then just like keep calculating.
I have not and will not lie to you.
She'll stop for a moment. She'll look straight at him and said, "You said they could be killed."
They can.
And so you will be the first. What a joy. And she'll go back up and look at the ceiling.
Look at me.
She'll take a moment. She'll close her eyes. She'll exhale, unfold her arms, and look in his direction.
I promise you, I will free myself of her. And I will do it the right way. And I will not take shortcuts or end up like him, the spirit.
Because you are a good man?
Because you make me want to be one.
She exhales, looks defeated, like in the manner of like she was holding up this pride for like as if it was a facade. And she's actually like truly terrified as to what Mykolos's destiny could be. And she takes a moment and reads him again, because that's all she really knows how to do to like gain that sort of connection with people. And I don't know if anything changes as far as his arcana or as far as like how he is portrayed, Dan. But she just looks back at him, his frame, trying to get any semblance of truth.
What's your empathy?
It's a 1.
And I'm presuming Mykolas in this moment is not particularly masking.
Nope.
You can tell he wants you to believe him. And you feel trustworthiness in him, but you're also aware of your limitations. And that if he's a good liar, he could be lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, hang on. Let's give you a bit of a chance. What is your convince, Mykolas?
Non-existent.
So yeah, you are unable in this moment through just sheer openness. You cannot help your cause in that. You just are who you are. And she is not able to get any real certainty other than she's known you for a while and she wants to believe you're a good person. But that is the limitation at the moment. As far as mechanics say, if Natalie chooses that Lenora. And at the end of the day, trust is a choice.
Right. She's gonna look and she's going to say, Mykolas, I want nothing more than for you to succeed, and I want to trust that you can do it. But I also have to protect what I know. And if that means that I take a moment to myself to think of the possibilities without you, I hate, and she's just going to like have like a feeling where she's kind of like touching her palms, like she's holding on to something that she doesn't want to anymore.
He will gently put his hands on her shoulders. Do what you need to do. I trust you.
Okay. And please do not think bad of me. I want to trust you so much. There's just been so much in my life that I have not been able to be certain. And she'll take her hands and place them on top of his. I believe you. And I trust you in this moment, if that is enough.
I can't ask more.
Lenora, in that moment, as you are in this intense moment with him, an image of the moonless night flashes in front of your eyes and then flashes away.
Why? Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Why? All right. Okay. She'll kind of like you'll noticeably see Lenora kind of like twitch, or like she's visually disturbed by what she just saw, but she's like, okay. I need to clean up before if we're dining downstairs.
Is she saying this having already changed after the time on the road?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Again.
I need to wash my hair. Hair is currently
I need to powder my nose. I need to leave.
Yeah, Mykolas, of course. If you have any questions,
I know to ask, and I will.
I'll always be there for you. And he will take a step back and go into his room for a bit because he needs a moment.
You open the door, and in there is Janos. Hello.
He'll close the door behind.
We got your message. Was it one of us?
Not exactly. It was a portier who killed one of us.
The first we sent.
You could have warned me of that part.
You could have come to us openly first.
Yes.
Trust is in short supply these days. In both directions, I don't doubt. You managed.
Yes.
As reports go, he looks at the letter. We don't have many soldiers in our ranks, but they tend to be much more detailed. Anything to add?
I know the heads are a lie.
Most of us do the first time we go. Sit after the deal. It is an old arrangement.
They can be killed.
So we hope. Usually what happens is we die before the deal is completed, and they try again.
It has been done before. I know the old stories, and they're not all lies. I will do it.
If we didn't think it was possible, we wouldn't exist. But we have no records, no confirmed kills. We also have no confirmations of any of them fully awakening. The stories exist, but we've no records from the Rata of that time. They were much more secretive than we are today. The deal was made, however, with the family of the king.
I know.
The modern incarnation of the Ratas was actually founded by one of the king's sons, a third son, who sought an easier path to the throne and learned his lesson.
I don't... I will be leaving soon. I have errands that take me out of the country.
Do you know which direction you'll be going at?
Probably north, but maybe not.
Izora. Are you familiar with their legends of the mother?
Somewhat. They have something like witches that make deals with the mother.
Yes. She operates similarly to Devai, but we have, even those with the knowledge gift, have never been entirely able to ascertain what she is. We believe she is obfuscating herself from us.
I intend to avoid her if at all possible.
If she becomes curious about you, you will encounter her. Take care of errant children, be kind to the poor, and you're generally okay. But she does not follow the same rules as them. If she is one of them, she might be one of the legendary creatures we've heard of. We are not ready to go to war with her.
Nor am I. I just want to keep my people safe and do what we've agreed to do.
If she offers you something, it is not complete no-go to accept it. If you find yourself an extremist, we have no experience of her making the deals lasting. It would be a one-time thing. We don't recommend it, but if necessary, she has helped us in time, and the deals never seem to go beyond the first one. Help orphans, aid the poor where you can, and you'll stay on her good side.
I already do that.
Good. He stands up and stretches. Your distaste is not misplaced. I'm sorry.
Don't touch my people.
I won't.
Warn any one of us. If they do, I will deal with them.
It's bad business. Do you understand what you're doing here? What such threats mean? Because it's not just me who heard it. It's yours and mine. And now they know. And now that has entered into their circle. What they see, they use. What information they cannot immediately use, they sell to each other. They're never gone.
I know.
Then be cautious, Mykolas. You're walking a dangerous path. But, from what we've heard, a path with potential. You killed the portier who knew you were coming. You're capable. Or your team is. May that bear you along and do you well. Learn what you can of the mother, not for us, for yourself. If she's what I suspect, she might have information you can use.
If we have time, we're just going to be passing through.
There's a lot of Uzura to pass through. There will be time. If you do not mind, I will depart.
I would prefer it.
Shadow swirls around him, and he's gone.
And he's just going to collapse in his chair or on the bed or something, just like untensing the muscles that were going at the time. Just like
Rowan, you walk back into the Samartian Princess. Music has started up. There seems to be some dancing happening. There's drinking happening. There's actually a drinking competition going. Umberto, I'm going to say, because the room was empty, we're down in the common room, so you see Rowan come in. And again, the atmosphere is picking up. And Rowan and Arcady come in, and Arcady looks to Umberto. Hey, friends, are you still interested in the competition we mentioned earlier?
Which competition is that?
Yeah, you can score it in many ways. And he kind of looks around. Most kisses before they close the bar.
Okay, I like this game.
All right. And he steps forward and goes, very well. May the best man win. And he grabs you by the head and kisses you.
Oh, shit.
He's going to look at the room.
The look on Rowan's face is just...
Well played. Well played.
All right. So we're in a little bit of a competition here. Go ahead and give me your panache and tempt. Well, actually, what is your approach to winning this contest? And maybe that'll switch up what the risk is.
Ooh. He is just going to be absolutely flirtatious. At one point, he is going to He's definitely going to go after, like, towards the women who might be talking to another guy.
Okay. So we're going for steals. Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me your panache and tempt while you were rolling that out. Lenora, as you're kind of going through your clothes, you've gotten redressed again, you're checking your pockets. In one of the pouches on your belt, you find a black chess piece, a black knight. You have not seen this before.
Do I recognize anything about the art, the craftsmanship, or does it have like anything written on it?
No, it is an obsidian cut piece, which indicates it probably came from the Crimson Empire. One, really?
Oh, buddy.
The dice have turned, and trade from the Empire tends to move through Vidachi, but it goes everywhere. So not a whole lot you can extrapolate from it.
She's gonna look at it just a little puzzled.
There does seem to be a drop of blood on it.
Huh. She's gonna look at it like, is it dried blood? Is it like is it moving?
It actually looks liquid, but it was in your pocket. It was being rubbed around on things, and it has not seemed to.
She's gonna touch it, see if she can move it around.
You brush it off, no problem. And Umberto, you feel the connection break.
Is it on my thumb?
Yeah, now it's on your thumb.
Ew. And then she's gonna wipe it on like a towel or whatever rag that she has. And she's gonna put it back in her pocket. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Umberto, you feel the connection break. And we actually, with one raise, this will probably be why. You're starting to shoot your game. You get a couple of kisses, and it's very playful, and like you can see Arcadie's doing the same. But then you feel the connection with the chess piece break. The mark vanishes. It was up in Lenora's room, and now it's gone.
He will excuse himself and make his way upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Lenora has placed the chess piece in her pocket again because she's like, whatever. And then she's trying to get out of her room.
So as you are, and Lenora, you are. How would Umberto knock nicely at the door, or would he?
He would be. He's not sure how to go about this because if he knocks on the door, he's now got to come up with an excuse, and then that will just lead to questions. And
all right, so you are standing there trying to figure out what you're doing when the door opens.
Lenora opens the door. Oh, Kojino. If you're looking for Roan, she hasn't returned.
Screw it.
Are you okay?
Can I have the chess piece back, please? Do you still have it?
Did you put this in my pocket? And then she'll take it. She'll kind of like hold it like this.
Untouched
Yes,
except for the missing blood.
Is it important to you?
Deeply. But the reason you have it, I know of a way to make it so I can keep track of things.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Oh, I did not know. Umberto.
No, the important thing is the last time I felt connections leave, it was because the person was gone.
Oh no.
And when I felt the snap, I just needed to make sure you were still here.
I am so incredibly sorry.
Don't apologize. I should have.
You know, if you just tell me things, I'll make sure to follow directions. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Yes, but I also know how you Fedachin women are
You've
about
Adachi
following.
women. You've Adachi.
Did I
Again?
stutter? It is like trying to. Slamming my head against the side of this building would get me farther than arguing with a Vidachin woman.
Well, now you know. So I apologize for what you had to do to put that in my pocket. But if you need to do it again, like I will happily keep it safe. I don't know.
If it happens again, I would have no way of finding you. And not to say that the others aren't worth the same. And I'm not saying you're weak.
I take total offense to that.
But the nature of the delicacy of you. Can I just have the piece back before I make more of an ass of myself, please?
Here you are. There you go. And she'll put it in front of him. Put it in his hand.
As he reaches forward and you're both touching the piece for a second, the thrones flashes up in front of your eyes.
Ah! Why does it keep doing that? She's gonna close her eyes for a second after she places it and just kind of puts her hands away. She's gonna read Umberto.
Again, you see his arcana unchanged. The black thread again reaching out, and now there are 2 coils around his wrist before going off due south.
No. Okay. I'm sorry. I promise if you want to keep me safe, I will make sure to keep myself safe and to not mess with your plans.
I feel compelled to fall into old habits. And now that I have new avenues to pursue, I thought I would give this a try. But I also find myself with my new skill set being... my personalities are clashing, and I went about it the wrong way.
Kujino, that is okay. You need not apologize. I forgive you if that is what you're looking for. And again, I am sorry. The last thing I want to do is hurt you. And she's going to look at him in the eye and kind of look at his wrist and look at him again in the eye and just like hold his wrist and just like try to like see if there's like a mark on it.
Nothing that you can tell. No.
Cool.
What?
It's nothing. It's something to talk about tomorrow.
See.
And as you're there together, like having this conversation, you hear a little bit of ruckus on the stairs, and kind of glancing over, you see as Arcady is stumbling up the stairs, stumbling because he's walking with 3 different women, 2 under one arm, 1 under the, and as he comes up, he goes, "Oh, terribly sorry. Quality over quantity. I like your approach." And they start stuff off. And with that, we will bring this episode to a close. Thank you to Basics of the Game for hosting us. Thank you for all my players. Thank you for Dragon of the Dark Rose for all the production work that you do. And until next time, keep playing more games.